Go for the stars. Go for the stars. Go for the stars. Go for the stars.
3, 2, 1.
This is the Produce Your Own Life podcast. Life is a script. It's time to write your story. Welcome your host, actor, director, producer, writer, and author of the recently released book, Shattered, A Journey Through the Pieces, the man who inspires millions through storytelling and interviews, the one, the only, Rodney Damon Collins.
What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing today? This is the Produce Your Own Life show. My name is Rodney. I am the host and creator of this show. Here we believe that life is a script. It's time to write yours. I'm excited today because I have a very special guest. This guest is actually from my hometown where I grew up, in the mean streets of Toledo, Ohio. And he is an author. He is a speaker. He is a very good friend of my younger brother. I'm very glad to have the opportunity to meet him. And, my brothers told me a lot about him. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun doing this conversation. So without further ado, I'm going to bring my guest to the stage, none other than author, speaker, Peris Edwards. What's up, bro?
Good morning. Good. How are you, sir?
Good, man. Good. It's nice to meet you, man.
Likewise.
I heard a lot about you. My younger brother, Sheldon, has told me a whole lot about you. He's very impressed with you.
Well, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate that, and that's very humbling coming from Sheldon.
A whole lot of stuff comes from Sheldon, but we won't say it all.
Oh, man. Absolutely.
Yes, man. He talked very highly of you, spoke very highly of you. And me being from Toledo, I definitely have to show love to my hometown whenever I get an opportunity, because Toledo is what made me who I am. It's why I go so hard and do what I do. A lot of people overlook Toledo and forget about, man, there's a lot of great things that come from Toledo, Ohio, man. So,
yeah.
Glad to be talking with you, man. How's the weather in Toledo?
It's actually been pretty nice the past couple of days. I think yesterday was the warmest day we had. It got up to about 70 yesterday.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But I was at work, so I didn't get to enjoy it. But it's about 60 today. I'm gonna probably give me a run outside later. So the weather is decent. It's decent.
Oh, I love that, man. It's always, springtime. It's time to celebrate. The weather should be nice everywhere. And I also forgot to mention that you are a first responder too. You are a firefighter, and what else are you?
I am a firefighter paramedic.
Paramedic, thank you. See, I wanted to make sure it was right.
So that's all good. That's all good.
Show a lot of respect with that, because as a first responder, man, you work to save lives, literally. Like, I, as an actor, tell stories that may help save a life, but you do it every day. When you go in that job, you put your life on the line for others. So most respect due to you.
I appreciate that.
Man, me having a younger brother as a first responder and an older brother as a first responder.
Right.
I'm the crazy.
Is he Columbus?
No, he's in Toledo too.
Oh, Toledo. He's Toledo. Okay.
He's in Toledo, but it's crazy. I'm the middle child. I got that middle child thing. I just never
like it though.
Rock and roll with everything else. I've always been like that. So I accept and love it, man.
Blaze your own path. I like it.
All day, man. And you have an incredible website. We're gonna talk about your website,
Okay.
365 Happiness. But man, I just want to get in and just dig right in and just tell me some of your story. Tell me some of your story. And if I look off, I'm just actually commenting. Just as I said, I'm producing and I'm doing it all today. I'm wearing all the hats.
I respect it, man. I respect it.
Man, sometimes you gotta do that. So, man, just tell us your story, man. Who is Peris Edwards, man?
Okay, all right. I'm just a kid, man. I grew up in Toledo, Ohio, born and raised here. A product of Toledo Public Schools. I attended McKinley Elementary. Went on to Rogers High School. So yeah.
I went to McKinley. So go ahead.
Did you? Okay, yeah. The old original McKinley, right?
Yes. Oh wow.
Yep.
You said that. I got chills. Go ahead.
Yeah. So from Rogers, I did 3 sports there: football, track, and basketball. Ended up was blessed enough to get a scholarship to go to Miami University, which some people know as Miami of Ohio.
Yes.
Went there, played all 4 years, got my degree, graduated in December of 10 with a degree in social work.
All right.
Shot my shot at the NFL. I did that for about 3 years. I played professional football, indoor professional football, and I had a tryout with a Canadian team. So all that was all over a span about 3 years from playing in the indoor and having a couple tryouts. Went to the combine, all that stuff. And fast forward from that, I got into social work. I worked with drug court, probation, and CSB kids. Kids are my passion. I absolutely love kids.
Yeah.
So I was working with kids, mentoring kids. I was coaching football. And then I was working at Jeep for a little bit. And then I got interested in the fire department, took the fire test. I studied hard as I could, got on the fire department in May of 15. So I'm coming up on 6 years, became a paramedic 2 years ago, took that training to further my education for the job, because at the end of the day, it allows you to help people. And that's what we signed up for. So why not get more free education to put more tools in my toolbox to help more people?
Yes.
In 2016, I wrote my first book, published it in 17, which is 365 Days of Happiness.
Yeah.
Took me 4 years to write, and I'm sure we'll get to more of that. But I wanted to write and use my story to help other people. That is the simple and the sole reason I wrote my book, because after football, kind of back to that, leaving football was kind of like a divorce. You know, it was a part of my life for 20 plus years. It's all I knew. And I didn't realize that it was a part of my identity to a fault.
Yes.
And God showed me a different path for my life, a different way that I could be used.
Right.
But I think I'm fortunate enough to have been able to move through that. Some people can never face that fact and try to, and it's not even create another identity. It's just to realize that you aren't what you do. You know, you take the value in who you are with what you do.
I love it.
So yeah, I've been married. It'll be 2 years in October.
Congrats.
So thank you, sir. Thank you. That's honestly my biggest accomplishment. Honestly, to marry the woman of my dreams, a God-fearing woman, and that's kind of where I'm at right now in life. I'm just trying to mentor people and try to get better, you know, at the job, and just try to become more so I can help more people at the end of the day.
Man, I love everything I just heard what you said. I'm not sure if you know, but my son just graduated from Miami of Ohio last year.
Oh yeah. Sean did tell me that. Yes, he did.
Another connection there, you know. And
I love it. Hey, tell him I said love and honor. You know.
He's working in the industry with me out here, and
nice.
He's a model. He's about 6'1". He's about Sheldon's size, about 6'1". He looks much better than both of us. So,
all right, that's good.
So he's doing it, man. I've been married 25 years, so I have a lot of respect, man. Thank you, and I respect any man who could commit to a woman and, you know, really cover her, man. I love that. I love that about your story, your book. I definitely love the fact that you play football, man. I'm an ex-football player. I got a bunch of scars on my shoulders from surgery. It beats your body up, but it does something for your inner being.
Indeed,
amazing, man.
Indeed,
your book, 365 Days of Happiness.
Mm-hmm.
What birthed that? Because I want to be happy. I really do.
Right.
I've been around a little bit, and I haven't made it to 365 days. So, help a brother.
Well, the irony is I haven't either. That's the whole purpose of the book. So, going through what I like to call my divorce with football, that was the dark time of my life. Like, that was the lowest I ever been. I had graduated college, and all I saw was the NFL. Like, I didn't have no second option. I didn't have no backup plan. I mean, I got my degree. I mean, my mama wouldn't have let me come back home if I didn't get my degree. So that wasn't even an option to not get my degree. Like, that was a byproduct. That was going to happen. So, as we all know, even when you get the degree, life is not lined up for you. You still have to figure things out. So I committed to football. That was my full-time job. I was blessed enough to have a mom, that let me come back home. And I was just literally training for football for the first year or two. And that's when I started working and doing the mentoring at the same time. But I realized how low in life I was, how dark I was, how my relationship with God had kind of went to the side. I was putting football at the center of my life instead of God. There's nothing wrong with committing to your dream and trying to do whatever it is your heart desires. Because I think God put that in your heart. Yeah. I think it was meant for me to take that ride with football. Mm-hmm. And once I realized I lost myself, I had to go back to the basics of first building my relationship with God.
Yes.
So after that, I've always been an avid reader. My whole life, for some reason, I've always been an avid reader. And what books do for me, I feel like books allow you to live more than one life. Yes. And what I mean is that when I read your story, when I read someone else's story, it gives me a perspective that I never had. It gives, in some things may be similar, some things may not, but books are so powerful. They're so powerful. So being an avid reader, and then I just would start posting stuff on Facebook, like quotes and things like that, whether they were mine or somebody else's. I just thought it could help somebody.
Yes.
That's how it started.
Okay.
So once I started doing that, I just started getting positive feedback that people would inbox me. The people who knew me would text me and say, man, your word did this, or what you posted or what you're reading inspired me. And I'm just like, I like this feeling. I felt like it was my purpose to help people. So without knowing a thing about being an author, without knowing any authors, without knowing anything about, publishing a book, all I stated was, I'm going to become an author.
All right.
And I just started writing. And literally over a span of 4 years of stopping, being discouraged, starting back up, thinking I'm overthinking it, I produced a book, and the book was solely to use my story to help other people. Yes. It wasn't to become rich. It was literally for other people. And I think sports, like you said earlier, what sports does for you is it makes you realize that life is a team sport.
Yes.
So you can use what you have to help other people, and you can get more out of yourself when you're not just doing it for yourself. I'm sure you can relate, when you working out in a weight room or you running sprints with your team, it's harder to give up when that man or woman next to you is doing the same thing. Yeah. And they're dependent on you. And it's the same with the fire department. It's the same with the police department. It's the same with you and your family. You got your family on your back. It's the same thing. People say that people change them or whatever when they have kids. It's just, or something like that. No, it's something bigger than you now.
That's it.
And it takes you to another level.
Man, I'm pumped up because everything you're saying, it just resonates so much with me. I'm not even a morning person, but the fact that my wife gets up early, I get up. That type of thing. I just like, everything is like that. And one, I'm very competitive. So anytime I see somebody doing something I know I should be doing, then I'm just I'm stepping up to the next level. What you said about, the team, writing the book, these are very powerful things. I tell everybody that your story is someone else's breakthrough. And we have to be mindful about the fact that, God has allowed us all to walk these various journeys. And these journeys, sometimes they can be heartbreaking. But when you press through and you show that God brought you through, that's when you have credibility, street cred, so to say. You got some street cred, but like, hey man, I've done this, so I can tell you, if you hold out, if you stay with and you surround yourself with the right team,
Yes.
I'm very big on that. My team is small and it's good. I keep it small and good because I don't want. I used to have big numbers, and I learned big numbers is it's a stress. It's too much stress.
Yes, less is more, right? Like Jay-Z said.
Less is more. And you're the essence of what my show is, the Produce Your Own Life podcast. Because when God created man, the first thing He did was gave God a commission to go produce. Go out there and produce. You know, God is definitely the executive producer, the CEO. You know,
absolutely.
We have the title of producer, and if we are not producing, then we're dying.
Oh,
one or the other. You can't be in the middle. Either you're producing or you're dying. Yes. That's what it is. So,
yes, man, I like that, man. I like that. I like that.
And so that's why I charge people, man. And I can see your gift as a speaker, man. I definitely. Sidebar, I'm gonna have to call you after this interview.
Okay.
I might want to connect you with this person who's booking me for speaking engagements because
absolutely.
Yeah, she's good. Because
I would appreciate that.
Out here. And that's what this is about. I started this podcast to empower people. And you're the essence of what my show is about. So, and the 365 happiness, man, I was just like, is this something that, each day there's a mantra we should be trying to, subscribe to, live by? How do we stay focused for 365 days? Tell a brother.
I think it's so as I've gotten older, I'm 33 years old, and playing sports, you become so goal oriented, which is good. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think it's a great thing because it's important to be able to set a goal and hold yourself accountable and go after those goals 100%. And what happens.
Yeah.
But I think that the destination has more blessings and breakthroughs, as you just said, than the goal does. So the 365 days of happiness, it's kind of a double entendre. So yes, the goal is to win a championship. I'll use that analogy. Yes, the goal is to win a championship. But you can't win a championship unless you win a game. You can't win a game unless you practice and have a game plan every week. You can't win a game unless you study game film. So the 365 days of happiness is simply setting the bar. There's no reason. I like to use the high jump as an analogy. My boy Eric Kennard went to Rogers.
Oh, I know that.
Rogers with. I know you do. I know you do. That's why I said it. So the high jump is one of the most interesting events to me.
Yes.
Reason being is that if you set the bar, you have the choice to set the bar. So like if you go to a track and field event and they starting at 6 feet, Eric Kennard in high school wouldn't come in until the bar got to 6'6". So if he come in at 6'6" and these cats fall out at 6'5", he clears it one time 6'6", and he wins. To add to that, if he set the bar at 6 feet, say he did come in at 6 feet, but he jumped 6 inches over the 6 feet bar, you don't get credit for 6'6". No. So you only accomplish what you set the bar at. That is the whole reason of the 365 days of happiness. And I knew that coming with that, it may come off as a little cheesy, which is fine. But if you read the book, you'll realize that it's not about a perfect day. It's not about, so that means it's definitely not about a perfect life. Definitely not about a perfect year.
Copy.
It's about taking every day and being thankful for what you already have. Like that's rule number one, being thankful for what you already have, but going after what you want and being content with God's plan after you've already given your all. Finding the purpose in each day and having an attitude of gratitude is what I like to say. If at the end of every day you go 100%, you give it all you have, and you have an attitude of gratitude, that's how you create what Brother Hill Harper, my fraternity brother, likes to call unreasonable happiness.
Yes.
And that's the goal.
Man, you just gave me some chills. I'm listening to you, and you're speaking volumes to me. You really are, and it's helping me. You may not think it. It's helping me because, especially, I go back to what you said previously about you love football and you was called to it for a certain time and God put that in you, but you were focused more on football than God. Yep. And Letitia Wright, who plays in the Black Panther movie, she's Shuri. She said that when she was an actress in her younger years, she was so much in love with acting that she wasn't prioritizing God. And she actually took a deliberate break from acting for, I think, a couple years in order to realign herself and get herself right so that, as she stepped out into the industry, she had the right
focus. Did hear about that. I read about that. That was pretty recently, right? She stated that. Yes.
You can Google the interview and watch the live interview. She did it over on BBC, somewhere over there. But it's so important, and that I had to learn that, even as an actor, that yes, this is something I've waited years to do. But I had to step back and say, okay, God, if you called me to this, you gave me this desire, but let me make sure that you're the center of this whole thing. And if I'm not focused on you, if I focus more on acting than my relationship with God, there's a problem. Then, I'm not effective in so many other areas.
Absolutely.
But I love what you said too. It's really so important that we learn it's about finding the happiness and being content, not complacent.
Difference.
Complacent is you don't want to be complacent.
That's dangerous. Complacent is dangerous.
But contentment means that you have joy no matter what's going on in your life because you're able to see the beauty of life at every moment.
Yes.
And like as a first responder, like how does this mindset play in with you have to do, like when you step up in there and put that firefighter out, suit on, and you really got to go to work when that bell ring, like you got to go. Like, how does that step into play? How does that mesh with you?
It's very important because, like, I think on this job, there's a lot of people with sports backgrounds.
Yeah.
And it's an attraction for, an alpha male, if you will, and even women who play sports and just that type of personality. So at the end of the day, we want to save everybody, whether it's from a fire or whether it's from a medical run or whether it's from a trauma, somebody got shot, whatever the case may be. So it's a very slippery slope if you put your ego in it. If you put your ego in it, you'll start to wear on yourself. I don't know if you know, we're one of the busiest fire departments in the country per person. How many runs we go on, we don't have near the amount of people we should have. So we are.
I need to come back home.
You do.
I don't know if that's gonna happen, man. But go ahead.
So it's
find that in there.
I love it, man. I love that you love tea time, man. So it's a very slippery slope to where you think that, how do I word this? That you're in control, that you are in total control. And if you get caught up in that, it's no different than football. Like, I thought I was in total control even though things didn't make sense. Like the last team that cut me, my indoor team, and I'll get back to the firefighting, but
cool.
The game I had 3 interceptions and 10 tackles. They cut me the next day. I would think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I would say that's real good.
They cut me the next day, and they put me in the paper. Like, I had an interview after. I thought I played decent. So I think God knew that he would get my attention with something like that versus if I went out there and played horrible. If I went out there and played horrible, my ego, my pride, I don't think would have allowed me to try to see this different path that God was trying to lead me on. God knows his children. So he had to get my attention with that.
Yeah.
So back to the control thing on a job. If you get wrapped up and you think that you are you think you're the alpha omega. Yes, we're first responders. Yes, we help people, but God has a plan.
Right.
Seriously, God has a plan. So whether you're saving, a lot of our job is social work. A lot of people don't realize whether you're saving somebody's life
Yes.
or you're transporting somebody in an ambulance and they think it's an emergency.
Mhm.
They may need somebody to talk to. They may need somebody to listen to. So whatever I need to be at that time is what I'll be for that person. I can't get caught up in thinking that everything is going to be, oh, I'm gonna be saving somebody from a house fire. No, if you really want to be a vessel for the Lord,
Yes.
it's about what he needs you as, not what you want to be as, or whether it's something that's always getting recognized. You just need to be what you need to be to help others, because that's what we got in the job for.
Yes.
So this job has humbled me so much, but it really has. But
I believe it.
It has, but it has matured me so much to where I really have to oftentimes step back, because like when kids and stuff get involved and they're hurt and they're dead, like it crushes you. It's not the same as an adult. Anybody who tells you that, they're lying. It's something you never get used to. But I don't question that. Why is something bad happening to a kid? There can't be a God. I look at it the other way. If this kid was here that short amount of time, I know he's with God now, back to somewhere that's better than this.
Yes.
So that allows me to stay balanced and try to be as helpful as possible on this job, because it's a very stressful job in different ways than people realize. It's obviously dangerous, but it's more stressful mentally. It's more stressful mentally. And it helps to know that God is the executive producer.
Yes. Now, because you said something very important, especially with us being two Black males, your mental health is very important when it comes to this career, which I think is extremely important with anything. And as one who has had about with the mental stress at one point in my life, very heavy, I'm very big on that, and I unapologetically talk about it, because in our community, that was something that was taboo. That was like,
very taboo.
I ain't hurting, I'm this, I'm that. It's like, no, if you're hurt, it doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. And so how do you process that? Do you have because I know you don't want to bring it home to the wife all the time. Like, how do you process that? Is there camaraderie with who you work with? Share with that. That was important that you brought. I wasn't even going to touch on that, but until you brought that up, I was like,
mental health is huge. And in the book, I'm basically sharing my experience about, my mental health with football. So at the job, I'm very, very blessed to be a part of a crew that we talk through things.
Yes.
When we go on a horrible run, when we do a run that we don't think that went as smooth as it could have, we talk about it. And I've come to realize that talking about your feelings and your emotions, like you just said, it's not a weakness. But when our culture has instilled in us that, we're raised different, we're treated different, and showing our emotions is taboo.
Yeah.
I've been blessed enough to be surrounded with the crew and on a department that talking about that stuff is normal, and people are constantly checking on you. You're talking it out. The gym is huge for me.
Yes.
Every day I leave work, I go to the gym. Every day I leave work, I go to the gym. That is my release, and it helps me. So if everybody don't have outlets. Just like growing up, you play sports, I play sports. Sports was an outlet for us. Everybody needs an outlet for something.
Yes.
Everybody needs that outlet. So for some reason, I've been blessed with people I can call, whether it's somebody on the job. Some things I want to talk to my wife about, some things I don't. And she knows that. But she knows when something was hard at the job, and she is just whatever she needs to be for me at that time, whether it's talking about it or not.
Yes.
So I think having that open dialogue with your work family, with your home family, to understand how you may react different to things. And you may not always want to talk about something, and that's absolutely normal. But you should absolutely be in an environment where you feel safe and your feelings are safe to talk about. I got a group chat with my whole wedding party pretty much. And all dudes, all black men, and we tell each other we love each other every day. And that is so, even 10 years ago, I can't even say I was in that same space to feel comfortable to do it because of how we were raised. Yes. But we want our kids to be different. It's okay for a man to cry. It's okay for a man to express his feelings. It's okay for a man to tell his brother he loves them.
Yes.
You know, and I don't want to get too dark, but my brother passed away last year. And we didn't talk every day, which that's okay. You don't talk to your siblings every day.
Yeah.
But we didn't talk enough.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even tell you the last time I told my brother I love him before he passed. Wow. And it's not that I didn't love him, and it's not that he didn't know vice versa. He loved me and I loved him. But why couldn't I tell my brother I love him on a regular? Right? Why does that have to be the culture? Yes. You know, so when I think this job allows you to see life from beginning to end in a shorter time frame, that 24 hours we're at work. So you start looking at things a lot different. This job has allowed me to look at things a lot different and appreciate who's in my life and what's in my life.
Man, you are such a wise brother, man. You got a lot of wisdom, and your life experience, I could tell, has taught you a lot of lessons, and you're applying them. And we go to the home, to me, which is the most important part of our lives, because those who know us privately, you know, that is like how we conduct ourselves privately. It should reflect our public life. So like your wife, you know, how's the relationship, you know, going, 2 years, y'all still in that honeymoon phase and stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I smile like, yeah, man, she's I call it love deposits. Right now, if she watched this, she gonna see all these smiles. That's gonna get you some deposits in the love bank.
So it's honestly, man, it has not felt like 2 years, because I proposed at the beginning of medic school, and then I got married right after medic school. So like it was just all like a blur. And then once I finished medic school in August, we got married in October. And me and my wife have traveled. Like we have traveled a lot. We got married in Dominican.
All right.
October, we went to Paris that November. We went to Dubai last February, and we went to Egypt 4 years ago.
I love it. Traveling.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So that was our game plan before we got married. You know, we talked about marriage before I proposed, and we talked about our wants. We didn't want to have kids right away. So cool. Yeah. So at this 2-year mark, I have grown. I have learned a lot about myself. I have learned a lot about my stubborn ways. I have learned a lot. She and her laughing. I have learned a lot about. How I lack in communication, and I've learned that when you're married, it's not about you. Back to the team thing. Once you can put the team in front of you, whatever the issue is, whatever it is, big or small,
yes,
it can be handled. It can be a problem that doesn't have to arise next time. So right. I always joke. People love, me and my wife's relationship from afar, because I'm always talking stuff on Facebook about her, and people love it. They love it. But it's like, it's me just expressing how, in a silly way with humor makes everything better, that you're not going to always get along with your spouse. They're right. going to get on your nerves. Like if you're around anybody, as long as you're your spouse, you're going to learn things about each other, the likes and the dislikes. So yes. I try to keep it light, and I try to, when I can, I'm not always good at it, but I try to look at myself and ask, what can I do first? So she has made me grow in the 4 years that I've known her more than I've grown in a long time, because it's just been me.
Yes.
but now it's her and she's the priority. So she is the marriage is good, man. Marriage is really, really good. And I'm very, very blessed to have her. That is for sure.
Man, I'm gonna have to get you and your wife on the podcast. Me and my wife do. We just started one called Couple Matters.
Nice.
And we was just like after 25 years, we felt like we were qualified finally to share our marriage.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everybody else got to have 25 years in, but we just felt like, okay, now we ready to share and what we've been through, and
I like it.
We still like each other.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I like how you use like.
Yeah, I like being around you.
Explain that a little bit. Explain that a little bit. I know I'm not interviewing you, but
that's cool.
I'm a novice to this marriage stuff.
I have friends who've been married, years and years, and they are always finding ways to not be available to their spouse. Whether it's I'm working, whether it's I want to go out of town, I want to go to this event with the fellows, whatever. And you would ask, like, well, when do you and your wife hang out? Why are you never at home? It's because they don't like their spouse. They want to stay married because they feel this commitment, but they also don't like being around their spouse. So I'm just like, because we change as we grow, as you mature in relationships. Like, I'm not the same person that got married 25 years ago. My wife not either. So you have to go through the process of relearning each other from time to time, especially after your son and daughter, like my son and daughter are grown and pretty much doing their own thing now. You have to go through this process of, okay, who are you? What do you want? What do you want? And make sure you revisit that. We went to marriage therapy. I tell everybody, we process this stuff and make sure, okay, all right, yeah, I do like you. I like this about you, but I like spending time with you. So that's what happens. A lot of people end up after certain years, especially with kids, when the kids leave, they think, oh man, I spent 15, 20 years focused on these kids. And this other person just been kind of like my partner in raising them. But I love the fact that you and your wife are establishing travel together as couples. Me and my wife travel a lot. We travel even when we had kids young. We've gone everywhere. We went to Monrovia, Liberia.
Oh man,
Ghana. My wife and daughter been to Paris. I've been like South America, all over the place, because I think it's so important that you take time and travel and see this beautiful world, and you travel with the person that you with, and you got to spend that quality time. You really do got to sit down and talk to each other. And I love it. Don't spend a whole lot of time like watching TV all the time, or if you're Watching TV with your wife, give her a massage, rub her feet, do something.
Right.
Engage in each other so you don't lose that connection. Because
I like it,
trust me, I've seen it, and we'll talk even more about it. But I've seen more. I've seen a lot of it happen over the years with a lot of couples, and it's heartbreaking when I have a friend and his wife been married longer than we have, and they're no longer together, and it's like, whoa, that stuff will hit you, it'll wake you up, but it's really about, do you have each other's back and do you like each other? Because you can love somebody, but you don't like them.
Very true.
There's a lot of people I don't want to be around that I really care about, but I don't want to spend no time with you though. And
love them from afar. Yeah, for sure.
And you don't want that with your spouse.
Yeah. Exactly.
And not even for affairs or any of that stuff. Just the fact that if you really want to enjoy your marriage, you gotta like her.
yeah, absolutely. You gotta be able to laugh.
If she's your best friend, you gotta be able to laugh together.
Fair enough.
If she can't take your joking, or if you can't take her jokes and you think it's all serious all the time, that ain't no fun. Man, what's used to being married to somebody you serious all the time? Man,
that's taxing. Taxing.
It's like you want out.
That's taxing.
That's what happens. So that's my little cliff note on 25 years. But I'll tell you, I love my wife and I like her, man, even though I drive her crazy at times. And she's been amazing on this journey into the field of entertainment, so much so that she's writing now. And
I love it.
She's actually, I'm producing a short film, a Christmas film, and she's actually going to play my wife in it.
Oh, now that's groovy. That's groovy.
She was like, I've never acted before. I was like, you've been my wife 20 plus years. I think you know how to do
this. This ain't acting. This is You just throwing the camera in front of it.
That's it. Just being you on camera. So that's all it is.
That's dope, man. I'm gonna check that out. I'm looking forward to that.
I'll make sure I'm working with the producer Arc Reactor Productions out here, and we're gonna pitch it like to Hallmark. It's one of those it's a Christmas feel good type film. We shooting it. I hate the fact we're shooting it at my home, so I got to put up a Christmas tree at the end of April in my house.
Okay. All right. Small price to pay.
Yeah, heavy coats like it's winter time, and you got to film Christmas films in spring and summer though, because you release them in the winter.
That makes sense.
That's one thing I used to hate, man. You do a movie getting ready to come out in December, but in June you're filming. And you got to make that environment, even though you don't have that environment.
Yeah, I never thought of that. Wow.
And you sweating with the overcoat on. You like, can somebody dab me off? It is hot. This is not cold out here.
Man, I respect your field, man. That's a very I look up to Denzel, so I love like just studying his process and how he turned down a lot of roles for more reasons. I just have a lot of respect for your craft. I just wanted to make sure you know that.
Man, I appreciate that. I'll say this, and we going back to you because this ain't my time,
All right.
But I am very proud of what I've accomplished in these 5 years of living in LA. It's like when I first moved here, I had one credit as on my IMDb as a principal actor. Now I have almost 40, and I've won 2 awards, and hopefully we'll win a couple other awards. But I've been on network TV. I'm on an Amazon TV show as a series regular. It's like, but I work hard, man.
Absolutely.
I work
Absolutely.
But it's kind of cool that God gave this back to me because I wanted to act when I was younger, right out of school. But
okay,
I was committed to my wife, and then our son and daughter came right after that. I tabled it. I was like, God, if you intend, this is something for you too, because don't give up on that sports. I tabled it. I was like, God, if this is something that you have for me, I'll trust that you'll bring it back at another season in my life. I was like, I'll take good care of myself. I'll keep myself ready. And sure enough, the opportunities started coming back because I stayed faithful to my assignment, to my family, to what God told me to do. And he brought it back, and it's sweeter now. So much more mature to handle the ups and downs of the industry. My early 20s, I might have been a wreck because you deal with a lot of emotional stress. So just want to encourage you. You never know. Don't table and say sports is completely out. Like coaching, doing whatever. God, right. Another season for you to step in the arena, and before you know it, you NFL coaching. So yeah, so just keep.
I'm taking it. I'm taking that word. I'm taking it.
You kind of look like Jay Will. I'm looking at you. You look like Jason Will.
I never got Jay Will. Some people always tell me I look like Dion since I've been receding and balling and stuff. People always say, I'm like, man, get out of here, man.
Man, you kind of give me a little Jay Will vibe too,
That's funny.
I wanted to encourage you with that. What's Sheldon's comment? What he said. That's why the greatest man. Shut up. Yeah, they used to call me the greatest pretender when we used to play together, but it's because I was actually trying to coordinate play, and I was putting commercials in our play. They was like, dude,
I like it.
But I was producing. You were producing.
Yeah. You were in your element. Yeah.
And they was like, this dude nuts. He's the greatest pretender. Always imitating theme songs and stuff. We don't need all that. Just play, man.
Hey, that was your passion, man. I love it.
So man, it came back. So I want to encourage you, man.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Don't completely table that.
Absolutely.
Keep it out there, because God may say, okay, this field, this industry, because the professional field, football, professional sports needs people like you.
I appreciate that, man.
Really, really do, man.
Appreciate that.
So don't table it, man.
I won't.
Yeah. It may come, you be like, what?
Yeah, like what happened? You would be the first person I call.
Can't believe it. I'm actually in where you got your NFL shirt on. You just don't know, and you'll be there in a healthier way.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, and the connections are there. Like if that is, because my old teammate is the head coach for the Rams. That was my teammate. That was my teammate at Miami.
LA, come on out.
Right, I know, right?
Hey. Yeah, man. So, Sean is killing it. The
He
Rams,
is, man.
they love that dude. They
Yeah,
love.
he's only a year older than me, man. He's like 34, 35. Yeah.
That just gives me chills.
I know. I love it, man. I love it. I love it.
Man, you should definitely, man, stay in touch. You just
I
never,
will.
you
No, I
never
will.
know how that door will open. And I'm put like this: the entry level for professional coaching is already probably equivalent or more than what you're making now. So money wouldn't even be an issue to
That's
say,
a fact.
let's go do it.
That's a fact.
And
That's
I'm
a
a firm
fact.
believer that life is short. You play hard. And another mantra I live by is leave on E.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, you ever heard of Eric Thomas?
I've studied Eric Thomas.
Yeah, E, he was talking one time, this is probably about 5 years ago, and he was giving a speech and he kept saying, leave on E. You know how his voice get real
raspy, yep.
And I was just like, leave empty, leave this life completely empty. Everything God gave you, leave it. And I was like, that's how I'm living.
That resonates. I like it. I like it. It's not life ain't a conservative game, man.
And it's not a safe game. Contrary.
It's not a safe. That's the thing. It's not a safe game. It's not.
Now I'm gonna get a little spiritual for a second.
Let's do it.
When Jesus was sending the disciples out, he said, I'm sending you out as sheep unto wolves. Last time I checked, the sheep don't have a chance with the wolf.
Sure don't. not in theory. Not in theory, it doesn't.
It's a wrap. So when people be like, I just want to live a safe, and I was like, well, if you live in a life for God, last time I checked, it's not a safe life. It's a beautiful, it's challenges. It's a lot of good times. It's a lot of challenges, though. There's peaks and valleys.
People don't want that friction. People don't want that. They don't want to meet that adversity. I mean, but you got to pick it off, man. Don't let it get momentum and get to you.
Man, if I was living safe, I would not be living the life I'm living now.
Exactly. You wouldn't even took that leap. No. You couldn't have fathomed it. Nope.
And I will be still enduring winters, which I haven't felt a winter in 6 years now. It feels good, bro.
I bet it does. I'm low-key jealous.
Body is loving not feeling snow. I was like, man, I don't ever need to see snow again.
I bet you don't. Ain't no reason. It don't serve no purpose. It's still Christmas without snow.
And believe me, I've enjoyed them. Although this this Christmas, we're supposed to go to Big Bear, which is only a few hour drive, just for Christmas day, like celebrate Christmas
for that day. I got you.
But then we're going to Hawaii because this is a big birthday for me. I won't say the age. I'll let you know sidebar. But this is a big age for me, so I'm flying to Hawaii the next day to celebrate.
Man, enjoy it, man. You deserve it. Enjoy it, man.
Yes.
That's on my list. Enjoy it.
Make it count. Well, I'm pretty sure you've been everywhere, so Hawaii's like a drop of the bucket. Been to Dubai. It's like so.
Oh man.
What I want you to share with us is really as we get ready to close out, because man, I kept you almost 50 minutes. And
oh yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Good.
I try to be mindful about that. But I wanted to know if you could share with the audience some closing words and really how we should live our lives and making it count. Like almost take us to one of your speeches when you're giving a talk to somebody and stir us up, man. And then we'll get ready to wrap up a little bit. I'm probably gonna have you back on the show, but you and the wife definitely go join the couple podcasts.
All right, yeah, I'm definitely down, man. I'm definitely down.
Yes.
The one thing I would want to leave people with that's listening is it's this quote I read every morning that success is not owned, it's leased. And the rent is due every single day. So whatever you got to do in the morning, it doesn't matter what you got to do, whether it's, for me, it's the gym, and a cup of coffee and whatever gets you going, you have to understand that you have to pay the price for that day. Whatever it is you're trying to accomplish that day, you need to put it in the full throttle gear to be able to leave it on E, like Eric Thomas said. And that quote is from J.J. Watt, the success quote. But you need to get your mental ready to be in full throttle, because there's a lot of people that want the same thing that you want.
Facts.
Everybody can say what they want,
Right.
but you need to not just do what it takes, but you need to become the person to be able to receive that.
Yes.
I'm learning that as I get older and just experience more, you attract things.
Yes.
You don't really chase things down. You put yourself in position for when the blessing comes. In your career, there is no getting ready. If you get there, there is no getting ready.
Mhm.
There isn't. There is no getting ready. When the fire tones drop, there is no stretching. There is no getting ready. There is no getting ready. You fall back to your level of training and practice.
Yes.
So in the morning, you need to do whatever it takes to get ready, because like I said, success is not owned. You can't own it. It's like you're renting, like in real estate. You can only rent. That's all you can do. You got to have that rent ready. You got to pay that rent. And to add on to that, before I finish, you got to believe that you're worthy of receiving your blessings. Like if you don't believe, you can work harder than anybody. Yes. But if you don't believe, your psyche, your mind, you start finding problems in every solution. You start finding issues with every opportunity.
Right.
And you psych yourself out, and every opportunity could be there in the world. But if you don't believe yourself, if you don't believe in the ability that God gave you, if you don't believe the purpose that God gave you, then you're literally wasting your time.
Ooh. Mic drop. It's powerful. It really is, man. And our life is but a blade of grass. And I want to spend every moment of my life. I tell everybody I live on purpose. I live on purpose, and I don't operate out of pain. I operate out of purpose. So I want to encourage you, man. You are a very sharp brother. You have an incredible present, but an even brighter future ahead. And I just can't wait to see what happens. Like, I have some dreams as my career grows to do some things in the city of Toledo to help raise up young adults. Okay. So, you'll be somebody I'll be looking to collaborate with. God gives me this next level platform that I'm working towards, to where I can bring in certain resources that will really help. Because, and shine the light on, hey, Toledo has a lot of beauty to it. And
yes, it does.
I want people to see that and know that good things come from Toledo. I have some commitments that I want to make in Cleveland as well, because I spent 20 years living there. So,
okay. All right.
Yes, I lived in Cleveland for 20 years, but after college. But I definitely feel this thing in me, this calling. So I really appreciate what you said, man. Dang, that's good. It's good.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me, man. This has been great, man. You're good at what you do, man, and you're talented, and just keep doing what you're doing, man. I can feel your good energy, man, and it's a beautiful thing. You've been married 25 years. You acknowledge that. So, man, I wish you nothing but blessings and everything else, man. Absolutely.
Well, man, I wish you tremendous blessings, you and your beautiful wife.
Thank you, man.
Was in the background laughing,
She's crazy, man. She's crazy.
Y'all do something special today, even if it's for an hour with each other. Make sure you
absolutely
enjoy every moment, because it truly is a gift to spend your life with somebody as a partner walking with you.
Absolutely.
Why don't you share with the audience who will be listening, like how they can connect with you, and your website, share all the information, social media handles. Right now is your time to share it.
Absolutely. You can follow me on Facebook, Peris Devon. That's PerisDevon. You can go to my website, which is 365, the number, daysofhappiness.org. You can purchase my book on there, or you can purchase it on Amazon. It'll just send you the link directly to it. I'm on Instagram, Peris Devon. I post inspirational stuff daily, and
He does.
yeah. And on my website, I post book recommendations, and I post a lot of pictures from where me and my wife travel and everything. And I'm an open book, man. I'm always available, and I just love to help people. So,
well, the more you help people, the more beautiful things are going to happen for you in your life. So just hold on to what I said.
I will.
What you're doing right now, I honestly would be surprised if you're doing that 20 years from now. I'm going to keep it like that.
Okay. I'm going to hold on to that word. I'm going to hold on to that word.
If you're doing that 20 years from now, I'll be like, I was wrong, but I see I see something. And even when I was checking your website out and everything, I was like, okay, I'll be quiet. I don't speak nothing. I just let God do whatever God's going to do. But I just tell you, keep an open heart.
I will.
Yeah,
I will. You got my word.
There's a lot that God wants to do. You didn't go through all that just to stop.
I agree.
Right. And man, I want to thank. Oh, and also when I end the broadcast, don't hang up from here. Just stay right here. Okay. You and I talk just like this.
Okay.
I want to thank all the listeners and all the viewers for watching the Produce Your Own Life show. My name is Rodney. I'm the host, creator of this show. Make sure you subscribe to the show. It's available on every podcast platform: Apple, iHeart, Spotify, the big three, and every other platform there is. We're in 12 countries. We thank you for the 12 countries that subscribe to this podcast and show your love and support. Make sure when you listen, you like and rate the podcast. If you don't show no ratings, Apple don't show no love. 5-star ratings are always appreciated. Also, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's the Produce Your Own Life Network. Just pull that up, and we are all responsible for producing our own life. So with that being said, life is a script. It's time to write yours. I want to thank my very special guest, Peris Edwards, hailing from the incredible city of Toledo, Ohio. Glass City. We still call it Glass City. A lot of people don't know about that. They also don't know that the whole war between Michigan and Ohio, the rivalry, is about Toledo.
It's about Toledo. Toledo was supposed to be Michigan.
There it is. When they want to talk Michigan, Ohio, it's like, you got to remember the most important aspect is y'all wanted Toledo. Y'all wanted
Toledo. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It's a historical sign behind the Mudhen Stadium about it.
There it is. That's why I was like, don't sleep on us. We here.
Exactly.
We ready. We ready. So with that being said, we love y'all. We thank you for watching the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Watch it all the way through, because I promise you, you will be blessed. With that being said, we love you. Peace. And so give me 1 second and we'll be right back.
Thank you for listening and watching the Produce Your Own Life podcast with Rodney Damon Collins. Be sure to rate, like, subscribe, and share on all podcast and social media platforms. If you have questions or would like to be a guest on the show, feel free to reach out to us anytime at produceyourownlifetv@gmail.com. Remember, life is a script. It's time to write your story. Until next time, produce your own life.